Welcome to the Speak Her Podcast with your host, Camille Essick, the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Let's get started.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. This is Camille Essick. I'm host of the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe. I'm across all streaming platforms such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Pandora. I'm also available via email. I would love to hear from you. You can also send me an email at thespeakerpodcast@gmail.com. If you all haven't heard the Speaker Podcast, we superseded our goal before the end of the year. We're officially over 10,000 downloads across all streaming platforms. I'm so excited about that. And we're working towards the next milestone of 1,000 downloads. And if you haven't heard, I'm letting you know now. The song that you heard, I wrote that song in addition to other songs that they're available on streaming platforms such as iHeartRadio, Apple, etc. What I'm doing, y'all, I'm taking some of our key and most impactful, all of our conversations are impactful, but our most popular episodes from the podcast, and I'm flipping them. I'm pulling out my pen and paper, and I'm creating songs out of those episodes and conversations. So you're gonna hear more music and things to come, not only for the month, because this month of August is how we kick off the new season of the podcast, but throughout the year, I'll be dropping different tracks to create a soundtrack for the Speaker Podcast. So we're coupling the music with the conversation to give you a more in-depth and just overall experience. So enough about that. My brother and friend Deshon Gales, he's here. I'm so excited to have Deshon back. Deshon, welcome. It's so good to have you.
Thank you. I am excited about being here. I put a post out with the flyer. You want to be here tonight?
Yes,
'Cause my
absolutely.
mouth is on fire. I'm ready.
Okay. Well, since the last time you were here, I do want to check on one thing. One thing I want to ask you is, how are you doing? Because we've been watching the news. We see what's happening because you're right there in the box. You're in DC. What's going on? Like, how are you doing? How's your family doing? Your mom? Like, can you kind of fill us in on that?
Well, my family is in my hometown in Memphis. I'm the only
Okay.
one here. I have no family besides my church friends and family.
Okay.
I do my best to not go outside. I'm not afraid, but I have no reason to go out, especially as I'm creating. I like to create in front of my iMac. The only time I have been out and has been to go to Bowie State because I am in the Teen Summit. And I have to throw this in. Dumb Dory me didn't realize it's bigger than I imagined because Teen Summit from BET was recorded on the campus of Bowie State, and I'm one of the instructors for Teen Summit, one of my favorite shows. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that until today. So
Yeah, that was
that's the
hosted by the late
only time
Ananda
I
Lewis
go out.
and Laz Alonso. Yes.
Mhm. That's the only time I go out. And even church, I'll do what I need to do for a church, and I'm gonna be right here because there's transportation. There's a whole lot of things happening, and a lot of things are switching up. I can be, I can be more creative, more productive if I'm sitting right here where I'm sitting in my beautiful place
Yes.
digitally. Yeah, so all the stuff I see it come up on social media stuff. I haven't been out to see any of that. I think it's all stupid. I think it's crazy to just be pulling random people and arresting them and taking them away from their own businesses outside on the streets. You have a food truck and then somebody comes your way. That's absolutely asinine. But I am not going down in the area. I am definitely not afraid, but there's no need to even push the envelope. I'll
Yeah,
be right
so
here.
are they all over DC? Is it just one localized area, or is it just randomly just it could be anywhere, anytime?
I believe that it's random, because I've not seen anything socially. The only thing I've seen is like that one little area, and I'm just like, what is the whole point of this?
Okay.
So I just wish that they would stop. I mean, I know he wants to get rid of foreigners or whatever who aren't really supposed to be here, but I'm
Mhm.
like, it's just ridiculous. They're here.
Yeah.
They're here. So let them do, because I don't know anybody that they're hurting or hindering.
Okay.
Be honest. And if you're taking these people away from their families, you're displacing them, you're throwing them away. What does that do for you? What does that
Mhm.
do for me? Not one thing. Because I have a whole lot of stuff that I need right now, and you just throwing them out of the U.S. does nothing for me. It does nothing to enhance my neighborhood. It does nothing to put money in my pocket.
Yeah.
So that's where I am. I sit right here and I create and do what I need to do for me.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting just because you're right there in DC, and I just had to ask because, it's one thing when you see things on the news versus talking to someone that's actually there, and so I was
Yeah.
just curious as to what the culture is like right now. I did see a video where they had helicopters hovering over Howard University, and, they're just starting school back right now, and the students are like, "What are you doing?" Like, they were literally encompassing Howard, and it's a university, like, "What are you doing?" And so the students were recording and posting on TikTok, and it's just very alarming to see because that's, like, the mecca, right? And, um, going to school, minding their business, but just hovering over that area specifically, I just thought, you know, imagine, um, you're a high school student, in your mind, you have things in your mind what you wanna do for freshman year, and it's traumatizing, like, your freshman year of college is now etched with trauma because of this, so
Well,
that's
I
it.
know that my students, they're 14 to 16.
Okay.
They're not bothered about it.
Yeah.
Most adults are the ones that are intrusive. So I have over over 10 students. They're
But I'm thinking about the college students, like, at Howard, they're
well,
on
yeah, but
campus
I'm
and
like,
they're
you
seeing
still
that, that's gotta
these
be traumatizing.
these people live here, and it's around their head. So
Mhm.
because it's if you have, I'm gonna tell you this. I've had the police, because I live in the hood, shining that bright light from a helicopter. That's intrusive enough. But if they're not experiencing that, um, God forbid, but it has not. It has. If you're not here, um, it's not as intrusive. The news will make everything look like something. Now, when they come to get those people to get them out the country, that's a whole nother thing. But
Mm.
they're just doing that just to have a face, just to be intrusive, just to put out some fake news. Because you can make media look like anything. So that's what's happening here in this area. Because I live in Southeast, there's nothing happening over here. And
Okay. I hear you, I
uh,
just when they show the videos of people actually there
right,
experiencing
videos,
certain things, so I'm
clips,
just like, yeah,
highlight.
you just
Because
wonder because
I
they're
could give
on
you a
campus,
highlight reel.
the students are on campus showing like, "Hey, this is what's going on," so that's why I asked, and I don't wanna, like, dedicate the whole episode to that, but I was just curious as to,
But
like, what's actually
that'll be
happening,
good.
so
That'll be good too. Because they'll get your clip and make it like this is the situation. This is
Right.
what, as
Yeah.
an editor, I know. Get the highlight, get the worst part, get the part where they frowning up and look like they was about to cry and knowing they was about to sneeze. They will get it. This is media. This is TV. This is social. This is what they don't want to show you no boring stuff. They're gonna get the parts and give you the mess. I'm trying to tell you, as the person who lives right here in Southeast, it's right there, baby. Get
So
that.
is it
Get
in your
what
so it's not in your community, or is it just, like you said, in certain parts of the
well, since
city?
we're in a little box, with that little one box, we're all a part of the community. This thing has taken over. I hope it's not ended my live with you. Am I still with you, Ken?
It's a little, pixelated. Your sound is a little pixelated.
Okay, because I was on a training that I didn't shut off, so it should be better now.
Okay,
But
cool.
if you can hear me now, uh, this is one little box, and they will take all of the highlight that they possibly can and give you the worst. It's as Beyonce them said, we good on any MLK Boulevard. We good. It is not that detrimental. It's sad some of the things he's done or have allowed to happen, but getting excited young people and you pulling their highlights of everything, and nobody's crying and dying over there. No, because they're not doing the HBCU students like they were doing. The people they want to get out of the country. Why would they do that? They would not do that. And they have not been doing it. That's scare tactics to make themselves relevant, to be all intrusive. We good.
We'll keep an eye on that, but thank you for updating us on that situation. I do wanna hop right in to the heart of our conversation tonight, just because this is a space where innovators and creators connect. And one of the questions I do wanna ask you, just because, um, as you know, you have multiple projects, you have a lot of things going on. One of the things I've learned on the back end, I'm learning is the importance of building systems, right? Because people feel like, oh, you just create a flyer, or you make a video, but there's much more to that. There's so many other systems going on in the back end. So can you talk about how systems really sustain you as a creative, things maybe creatives don't know or aware of that they should do? I know for me personally, I have leaned heavily more so in this season as far as scheduling more, just because, with projects, being on social media can be very time consuming. It is time consuming. So I've learned that if I schedule my posts, have my copy and hashtags prepped, ready to go, in addition to my visual work, it frees up time for me on the back end. As a podcaster dealing with so many guests in the schedule, I created a template for booking guests, thanking them for coming to the show, pre-show and post-show, because that is another system, right, that I've created. So what are things that you would speak to as a creative to other creatives, maybe, feeling frustrated or having issues with time management, or someone looking into stepping into our digital creative world as far as systems and what they should do?
Everyone, everyone needs a system. I'm going to be very transparent. Before today, I didn't have a system. You like, oh, how you doing this and all these? I didn't have a system because I was night taking orders through DMs, taking orders through text. That's a jacked up system. That's one way to do it. But to remember if I have a photo shoot, if I booked the studio or not, because my studio gets booked. And if I wait to the last minute, somebody will have taken my time. So then I have to either ask them, can they come another time, or using another expensive studio. So you have to have some kind of system in order, whatever you're offering, you need to have a system, not a price list. Because once you put a price list out, you have locked yourself in, because sometimes different projects call for different things, different times. Because you're talented and gifted, you may do one project quick, and then another one may take days. So you can't say this fly is $100 or this one is 75. No, because you have clients that want to change stuff and update pictures and come up with a whole lot of things. I can't give you a price list. I must have a system when the client needs it, how soon you can get the information, because people love to ask you, do you still do flyers? Which is the craziest thing I could ever hear in my life. Yes, I still design. So I need everything from you. I need the photos that you like. I need all of the copy, the information that needs to go on there, and the date that you would like to have received this for your review. And I have been so guilty up until this day. I've been better with it on my own, but I have a project manager as of today. So praise God for that, as they say. Clap, 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 clap. And he has set me up in Monday.com. So, and I hate to look at stuff because it reminds me of my old job. And I'm just like, what is this? If it's not Photoshop or the camera, I don't want to see it, because I'm just like, what the world? You know, my eyes are already bad. But yeah, you got to have processes. You have to have a system, and you need to be outside of that system besides the information, because I cannot shoot, I cannot design and run. When am I supposed to be there? How do I get there? What am I supposed to be doing? That needs to take care of itself, and I need to take care of the virtual, the creative architect for the things that you want from me, because I won't be able. At this point, the workload is extraneous. Is it extend or extreme? Whatever the us is, that's what it is, and I can't handle it, because I will forget, and you'll be upset. Then you want to run me to the ground socially.
That's
But the
good.
devil
I
is a
think
lie.
that's important because it also frees up creativity, creating the systems, because you cannot, at least for me, my creativity doesn't flow as clearly if I'm frustrated about a system or something from an administrative standpoint. And so I know if I have certain templates and things set up, it makes things easier for me, even for projects that I do for other entities. Although some of the nuances may be different, the baseline of it, I do have some things that are kind of feel like are my sub templates, meaning like, if you're going to create something and it's a similar theme. For example, when I do the announcements or my visuals for my podcast guests, that's pretty much a template that I created and laid out for this particular season. That way, the only thing I have to do is switch out the headshot, the name, the date, and the time. And I'm not having to create something from scratch or from just a blank canvas. So, can you kind of touch on that? Because I think sometimes um, some creatives, you don't always have to start with a blank canvas, and the importance of creating what I call some foundational templates that can make your creativity more efficient, um, and just kick out the work, more quickly.
Yeah. There's no need in recreating the wheel. It's already round. It's already rolling. So please do that. Um, and I have so many templates and things for other people, but I hadn't been using it, but I will be doing it um, from here on out, because it's already perfect. It's already made. It's your content. Nobody has asked you to design anything and done a contract with you saying you can use this for anybody. Now, if you start getting to that point, then that's really good, and you need to start really charging majorly for those templates,
Mm-hmm.
because the things that we see online, people are selling those things. And if someone has contracted you enough to where they'll have you do an NDA, or set up a private what's the word I want, trademark template,
Mm-hmm.
that means you are about your business. So most people do not, but it's easy to download it or to receive it in email. So that is one surefire way that you don't have to change anything, because it's
Yeah.
a full basis, and that wheel is already running.
Mm-hmm. Yes, some of the templates I created, like I said, for me, particularly with my podcast guests, and I've done it also with some of my carousels, even on Instagram. If you look, and I'll do like a quick 3 reasons why, 5 reasons why. I have a template for that that I created that I have, so that way I can switch out the title, the number, and even the short captions, and then go in there, download, post with my copy. I have what I call my template hashtags, the hashtags that I use on a regular basis, and I keep them in a note section just because, hey, it's time consuming to sit there, hashtag Camille Essex, hashtag the speaker, like, go ahead and have those things set up and ready to go, so when you have your copy and you put your language in, you can copy and paste, and even certain emojis that you use over and over, go ahead and have those already staged. Stage those things, and it would just make your life so much easier.
One thing that I do, especially in prompting,
Mhm,
instead of having to type Black or African American all the time, I have it in my Apple Notes. I don't say notes, but shortcuts. So if I type AA, it's gonna give me African American. When I want to get a high resolution image, I say I have the shortcut as fixed. So when I type in fixed, the rest of that high resolution comes up. I just hit return, and it's in there. So I don't have to retype all of those things. So you have words, keywords, and elements that you like to use. If you have hashtags that you like to use, if you type in a hashtag, it already knows this is what I'm talking about. Or you do a hashtag too, if it's another one. But we can really get into hashtags, because what is the hashtag really doing?
let's talk
Who's
about that. I don't think people really understand it is literally like a miniature SEO almost for social media, and how it can pull your, images through social media. Like, let's have that conversation.
Yeah, because when you go, because I'm like, what hashtag are they going to look for you? Are they looking for
Mhm.
hashtag Cam, hashtag Camille, hashtag speaker podcast? But I'm like, when you get to through so much of them long names, you're like, all right, I could have just gone to your page. But I like to do at least one hashtag that has my stuff. So when you go to that and people ask, can you do this? You go to DG Creative, you tap that, and you have a whole website of you and your work. And you don't have to do nothing else, because you don't need but one. Because this is my hub. Go to Deshon Gales, and then now with Google, if you go look at that, you're there. So it's
Got
it's
you.
it's giving you your presence beyond your platform. So it's pulling it all together all in one spot, because you have too many. It's like, what's the point? You go to
That's
Deshon
true.
Gales. That's my hub. That's my name. That's my LLC. So all of that is going to be right there when you do it, because there's you only need one spot, one stop.
One
So
stop shop.
yeah, and it's you right then and there. So because all my stuff is Deshon Gales something or another. You don't have to, because to look at Deshon Gales photography, I'm just like, I'm not even finna type this for my website. So it yeah, it's quick.
That makes sense. You want it efficient, you want it where it's referencing, but also something people can remember.
Exactly
That's
that,
really good.
because
So
it's a
mhm.
whole lot. Mhm.
That's so good. And, we are here with Deshon Gales. I'm Camille Esticos of the Speaker Podcast. If you had not done so, what I need you to do right now is, we have people we're streaming on different platforms here. I need you to lean on that share button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe. A lot of people don't know, but I'm putting out there, like, Deshon is my mentor, and I feel like you no one knows everything. And you should always be in a space of continuous learning. And so in this season of my life, mentorship does come with investment. So Deshon, what I do want to ask you is, what do you think about formal like mentorship programs, particularly for Black creatives, um, that are compared to working with informal networking, like maybe just being in a group on social media or following a page? Like, what are some of the pros and cons, or what do you feel like are more pro conscience reasons why just having that individual mentorship can kind of give you a greater edge versus being in a group page, um, or just informal networking through social media?
hmm Well, I have a few things to say. Nobody can do everything,
Mhm.
especially alone.
Right.
You can't, because it's going to wear you out. You're human. You're in the flesh. When people talk about being in the flesh, talking about sin. No, we're human. We are in skin. We get tired.
Absolutely.
We get sleepy. And things have to continue to run and keep going. That's why I have to get a project manager. I cannot do it all alone. It's a business, it's a whole world. And you have to have things that are working for you right now, pulling in your income, and then you have to have stuff that's passive. So when you sleep, somebody's out there buying something. Just like from
Mhm.
some of these mental classes that I've done for AI, it was people had signed up. I didn't even get a notification for it. They had
Yeah.
signed up for the one-on-ones. I'm just like, where did this money come from? I just like, and then it was by people that I don't even talk to all the time. And, I know them, but these things are for you to be perpetual. And these are things when we most like God, our name keeps ringing, our posts keep ringing. We get to streaming, there go Cam, there go Cam again. So that's what I've been feeling like lately. When is this Cam? I'm like, this is absolutely amazing. Your brain goes beyond you and your name goes out. And we have to be focused on not just making money for right now, but you have to let that money consistently be made, whether you post about it or not.
Yeah. Um, one of the things I think a lot of creators believe is as soon as you post a flyer, you're gonna get all these clients. Um, at least for
No.
me, I feel like I've had to, and if I can use this phrase loosely, I've had to prove myself because we see a lot of people, they wanna hop on, the Chat GPT train and then say, "Oh, I'm an AI content creative," and it's so much deeper than just Chat GPT and creating
Yeah.
a couple of Muppet posts, there's so many different layers to, what we do as far as, um, correspondence, generation, image generation, video content, and even with the the space of visual, you have static and dynamic, right? And dynamic on code for animation and movement, which that's a whole nother animal and it's constantly changing every day within itself. So there's so many layers and nuances to this. Yes, learn the basics, but through mentorship, because you're on me all the time. "Hey, look at this, watch this, check this out." Um, you have to put your hands to the plow. Yes, you can,
Right.
because I have courses, you have courses. We both have individual and VIP courses available, both available on our websites, shameless plug. But it comes with an investment, but after you take the course, you have to do the work. You have to
Yeah.
do the homework, and I can't tell you how many times and Deshon is probably gonna start laughing where it was something so small, but it was not clicking for me, and I'm like, "Deshon, I'm not getting this," and he'll just be like, "Show me your screen. What are you doing?" You know, and he'll break it down, but you need that other set of eyes, you need that other mind because hopping in, a virtual group or just copying and pasting someone else's prompt or whatever, you have to put your hands on it yourself and you have to tweak it and you it's a whole process.
Yes, indeed. Even if you go on Mid Journey and go on the Explore page,
Mhm.
you can rerun that prompt right there. It's not going to be what you're looking at.
It's not.
You have to re-prompt
Or
and
reprogram
refocus.
the codes. Like, there's
Yeah,
codes there.
because it may be in the family, but it's not going to be that. It's like when people ask me about what's the prompt, I have I'm in the design group, and they were out like I had done some ministerial seals, and I showed them just like because they wish they would do AI, which you if you in Photoshop you're using AI. Period. You hear me, designers? If you're in Photoshop and you have to use it every day, you already paying for it, or you done jacked it somewhere off the internet. It's AI to run that service. You either get with it, you could get with this, you could get with that. And everybody's gonna be with that, and you're gonna be stuck like it's 1999 first Photoshop. But anyway, that's but I could give you my prompt, but then you're gonna have to build on it.
You have to.
You have to go into ChatGPT to say, enhance this, fix this according to my brand.
Yes.
Let's rework this. And that's what ChatGPT is for, to enhance everything that you do. It is
Mhm.
not God, but it will whisper in your ear, do this, take this off right here, remove that comma, put some italics, what's the thing, parentheses around it, put some quotations around there so that your text will be synced, so that it won't be jumbled. People, they just want easy way out. I'm not giving you my prompts. I don't even sell my prompts. I could. People are selling out, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to have the headache of trying to explain to you why it's not working. Because you are not going in there and asking the right questions. You ever see in the Bible where it said we pray amiss? You're asking wrong. You're not using your spirit or your mind to concept these things. As I was telling you today, there's power in what you say. And if you say it or if you type it, that's what you're going to get. And if you see something weird or something strange, you need to go back, see what you said. If you typed it, you can see it. Once you say something, it's gone. You see what you said. Oh, this is where I messed up right here. I've done it all the time. A lot of when I see, I said, that's crazy. That's weird. I go back in my prompt and I say, oh, I see where I messed up. Take it out or enhance that. Is what I want it to be. It's there is power in your prompt. There is power. in what you say. There is power in what you're typing, and especially if you are submitting that. You've got to know that. Because if you don't, you're just prompting amiss, praying
What do
amiss.
what do you feel like, or what do you say to creatives that may be looking to get into corporate spaces, or they're feeling frustrated as far as climbing the ladder and not just grabbing entry level, but maybe mid level or even executive level as creatives, and how to break those different tiers within the 9 to 5 space? Because not all of us in the creative space, maybe only just entrepreneurial, or we call it the hybrid creative, but those that are in the leadership roles on the private sector. What are tips? Because you've done that, you've been an executive before. So, what advice do you give to those individuals looking to break through some of those ceilings in those spaces?
Get out. Get out. Because you're too talented. Well, we hope that you are too talented, because a lot of people be wanting everything now and they can't design their way out of a paper bag.
Mm.
But make sure your gift is making room for you. And because if you're expanding like that, you're gonna feel the frustration. You be like, oh, I got to get out of here. You won't even be worried about tears. You're gonna have to get out, because what you're doing, what you're creating, is more powerful than where you are. Because those people are still trying to treat you like a slave.
Mm.
And God has wanted you to be your own boss, where nobody tells you anything but him. And he only is telling you that because you asked, because you prayed. Because I'm on fire today, Camille. If you don't ask and you don't say nothing, you can't. You won't get nothing. But if you
Like,
feel
where's
all
the door? Like, where's the door?
the doors in your mouth, if you don't say it, if you don't do it, you're gonna be stuck on somebody's job.
Mhm.
God will have us to be our own boss and move by His direction and by at His word. And you're not going to get His word if you're not studying. And most of the time, if you're so creative, you ain't got time. You ain't running no Bible verses while you creating something. You're not, because I know too many out of hundreds of designers. They're not doing that. They want to get this job done. They want to get to the next level. They just want to get paid now. They don't even care. Okay, what's going to happen after I do this? Am I going to brand their whole conference? Am I going to do their convocation? Am I going to write music for them? Am I going to book artists to come and sing with? You're not thinking about that. You should think about $75 flyer. And God
Isn't
is
that like
not.
the invisible ceiling? We call that the invisible ceiling. It's like you
Well,
just putting a labor cap on yourself, right?
yeah, because I'm like, because you only go hit so far. It's called the law of the lid. If you look
Mhm.
at I need to give you that for homework. The
That's
law,
good. Let
the
Break that
law of the
down. I
lid.
like that. The law of the
Because
lid.
you're only gonna go but so far. That lid
Mhm.
is gonna be on my coffee cup. I can, even if this thing was filled up at the very bottom, some of that coffee and tea still be down there. I have to take that lid off if I want to get it all, because this lid right here, if you can see this lid, it's gonna limit me, because I'm looking down at some peppermint tea right now. But if I take that lid off, no more peppermint tea, baby. I add to it. And God wants us to get the lid off. Just like people tell me I'm no longer in the box. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because you won't take these walls down.
Mm.
Giving you the instruction of what you need to do, and you won't do it. You just do what you know. You just do what you saw on YouTube. You just do what the people say. And I was telling the designer today, people have all these great and wonderful creative ideas, but they're not an example of anything. There's no fruit behind it. And because you still got the lid on you. You still saying, oh, I'm not using AI. Oh, take that lid off and use AI. Because that's you're not designing nothing work, but your mouth is being used to disgruntle, upset, to come against what is already happening in the universe. And you want to run your mouth, but you have nothing to brag about. You're not one to say, oh, they are bad. No, take that lid off of you, get that under there, get that tea, get the rest of that coffee, because that's a good sweet spot. And then you go and fill it up again.
That's
Ooh,
good.
I'm on fire.
I would say, since, because we met through, the TMCBA years ago, and
Mhm.
then our friendship began to grow after that, and even more so now, with the mentorship connection. I would say, like, with you, you have pushed me more to take the brakes off myself. Because honestly, in the beginning, where our working relationship started, I felt like this is too much. I can't do this. I'm not a tech person. I limited myself. I how can I word it? Um, I was cutting myself short before I got started and didn't really initially give myself the chance to learn it. But having someone like you to push me to say, "No, Kim, you can learn this, you can do this," and also being patient with me through the process, it's definitely been a confidence booster. And then stepping into this creative vein, um, it has definitely cracked the lid, it's pulling the lid back, and the lid is coming off because now I'm like, "Oh, what about this? I didn't think about that." I never thought I would dabble in music, right? Um, Started with just my pulling out my pen, paper, old school way, writing the notes, and then taking the words that I've written, and now they have life in a way I could never imagine in the form of music, songs that I can say that I wrote. And so that's one of the most powerful things from this. You have to look at the other rewards outside of getting an invoice. Like, yes, we love paid invoices, but when you tap into this lane, you have so many gifts inside of you and other attributes to yourself. And I'm speaking to everyone listening or watching, but how do you know if you don't give yourself the time and opportunity to try it? Because you don't know this project, this skill set could be the domino that falls that opens the door to so many other gifts and talents God has for you, but you have to at least put your toe in the water and jump off the
You,
porch.
when it's not working, just like Jesus on that boat, you ain't getting none over here. Cast your net to the other side, because it's
Yes,
always something there to capture.
there's
It's
always
always something there to
something.
create.
Yes,
You're most like God when you create. He is the master creator. And I want to be just like him at all times. Whatever I say, I need to see it. And that's God. He spoke the word and the world frame. We have that same thing with us. And somebody who doesn't have anything, their mouths are closed. They have no praise life, nothing verbal in worship. You just come to beat the tambourine. The devil is a liar. You just come to do a dance. Elephants can dance, but where's the intention? Where's the power in that? Anybody can do those things. But when you put your mouth to it,
you
that's
know,
when you start seeing things happen.
yes. Deshaun, you said something and it made a light bulb go off in my mind. And the
Mhm.
correlation, my pastor is a visionary, he's a creative.
Yeah.
And every time after coming from church and coming back here, and I
Mm-hmm.
get on Poindexter, that's my MacBook, I call him
Uh,
Poindexter, another idea, or I see a shift in my design.
uh-huh.
Every time after a very powerful, like, worship encounter, I experience another, like, creative door open for me.
Uh-huh. Yes, it is. That's
Amazing.
how it works. That's how it works. And people say, "Oh, you do so much." I'm like, "Yes, I'm going to always do a whole lot because my mind is constantly going. If I'm laying there, if I want to go to sleep, if I want to rest, I'm gonna tell you, my mind is going to be, and I don't want to say racing, but ideas and thoughts keep coming to me. It's like the Matrix. Um, it's just constantly going, and I'm just like, Lord, I need somebody who can do this. I always say, I wish I had 3 or 4 me's. And then I
Yes.
know if I had 4 of them, they're going to be out thinking each other. And I'm just like, oh, it's constant. It doesn't hurt my brain, but I get upset because I can't do it all in this flesh.
Yes.
So that's why I can't do it all by myself. I got to distribute the things that God has given me in my spirit. Say, oh,
Mhm.
because people, how did you? When we were in the TMCDA, and they be like, how in the world do you come up with that like that so quick? I said, God is constantly telling me stuff. And if you
Yes.
ask me something about you, he's gonna give me it's like I'm the living GPT. And now that I use that, it enhances those thoughts even more. It's about more than a Ghibli cartoon. It's more than about all this other mess. It's in there to get you results. I only want results. I
Absolutely.
only want results. And in one day, now I have helped launch some podcasts this week. I'm sitting on 2, but I'm gonna tell you in just one day, which was yesterday, started a whole nother brand for me. Now I've always wanted to, in some instances, say use my name because my first name is Eltronis, and I said I'm going to
It's
use this.
what?
My name is Eltronis, Eltronis. I'll tell you the story on my name,
Okay.
Eltronis Deshon Gales, and I said I'm going to do something cute with my name. So I said, E. Deshon. I would say E. Deshon Gales, because I said I will use this for my books or whatever. Because I've always wanted to do everything. So yesterday, I did my first E. Deshon Says, and it's not a podcast, but it's inspirational messages from me talking in my voice, all country and crazy. It said because people say, Deshon, did you say that? Deshon, why would you say? Yeah,
That's
it's
Memphis.
that's Memphis all day,
All
and
day,
it's
every day.
E. Deshon Gales. Now go live it, love it, and don't let nobody dim it. So when you hear that, just think I'm the Black Tabitha Brown, baby, because it's already got so many views on that. It's ridiculous. I haven't even put it on Facebook yet. It's absolutely crazy. God is constantly, and since I've been with the kids today, He's giving me so much more. And I'm just like, God, I thank you. I thank you that you provided me with more. Give me the capacity to receive all of you because I'm gonna pour it right back into who you want me to pour it. It's not for me. I know it's for somebody else.
Yes,
And
and just be
everybody
thankful.
can't contain the capacity of God. I did a whole business plan for somebody, and they said, "Hello, I gave you almost $2,000 business plan, and you still asking, and you want me to call. I don't have time to make calls for you. I'll put it together. I'll ask God, what do I need to do? I'll ask ChatGPT, what's the plan? but I don't have to. I don't have time to make calls for the dentist, let alone to call somebody about your business. I'm already too far behind for me. But no, go to number one, God, number two, Chat GPT, and then just send it to you. I don't have time to make phone calls. I'm not a secretary. I hate what's the want you to do cold calls like in my old job. A cold call. Do you know how many businesses I have? I'm not gonna be calling nobody, even though I found this bot that will make the cold call for you. But not me. That's called busy work. And people want you to do busy work as a creative. No, I'm not doing that.
But that
Do
goes
you
back
have
to
a big,
system.
a major? I don't ask me to put nothing in Word. I don't use Word. I love Word. Thank God for Microsoft. But I'm not going into Word and doing anything. Now I will cheat and do Chat GPT, but I mean not Chat GPT. What's the Canva? Now I will get some little things out of there and the Adobe version, which is sick. So
Yeah. But that
yeah,
goes back to what we were saying before about systems, like putting those
yeah,
systems in place and having those things together. The time is rolling. We are almost at an hour. And,
baby. Because I told you I was on Friday today, and I come about a one hot training, and I said, oh, ooh, I'm gonna be on fire.
yes. So before we wrap up, I do wanna ask you, do you have any projects, anything coming up soon that you have that, you would like to put out to the listeners and viewers? And then also where people can contact you on social media as well. And then also maybe one little nugget of wisdom as we begin to wrap up.
Okay. Well, I'm always doing something. And if you type in Deshon Gales, my everything is coming up. All of my social, all my websites, all of everything. And my courses are continually. I cut out the group um course. So I only want to do one-on-one because I need to get down into what you're doing. And I can't really do that with a whole group of people. That's taking away our time and our life. The whole point of this is to make your job and the work easy. So those things are still available there at dgcreativestudio.com, and then you can tap on Beyond the Lens, but you can place orders and do all those things and see my online portfolio because you can't see my financial portfolio. But anyway, these things are constant because I have designs to do. I have weddings that are coming up. I have events that are coming up, and I am wrapping up the Teen Summit at Bowie State. And y'all, I am just as clueless on things when people asking me to do stuff. Now, I think I took a picture of this young lady years ago when I got here, and haven't really thought about her at all afterward. She asked me to be a part of Teen Summit at Bowie State. Nothing in my mind clicked about Teen Summit from BET. It is the same exact place I am teaching 14 to 16-year-olds at Teen Summit at Bowie State. I'm looking at all the pictures on the wall, and I said, oh, that's cute, not realizing I am at the birthplace of Teen Summit from BET. So we have a big presentation this Saturday at Bowie State, and we're overtaking the lobby. We're having virtual backgrounds, and we're creating live art. It is absolutely, because they asked me what did I want to do. I gave them a 2 or 3 page thing of what to do. All I did was tell ChatGPT what they wanted, and then boom, here it was, just spitting it out. And they was like, "Oh my god, yeah!" And we've already done it. Sometimes we sit in class, I'm like, "Well, what else y'all want to do?" I wish I could show you stuff that they made today, because I'm like, I'll have to remind myself I got 14 to 16, so some of the prompts they're funny and cute. But they are absolute geniuses, do paintings and 3D art and all kinds of things. So and we're not going to be live, but we're going to have demonstrations and everything on campus. So if you're in the DMV and want to come see us this Saturday, I think we'll be there I'll be there at 9. It'll be most of the day. So if you want to come out and see the Teen Summit presentations, just like it would on TV, except we won't be on BET.
They need to bring that back on air. I feel like
they will, but listen, all of the black stuff on BET, black entertainment is totally white. The most black
Saturday mornings watching BET, like Laz Alonso, Ananda Lewis, like Prince Deshon. That was the place where we got I did as a teenager, just information about what's happening with the community and impacting us as young people at that time. And so I guess for me personally, the Speaker podcast kind of takes that up a little bit, right? Like we discuss topics and issues impacting the community and the culture because a lot of other outlets are not doing it. If you do, it's, women arguing, throwing drinks on each other, just messing up TV. And we need to have something and be a place where we can have safe communication and be able to share some ideas, whether it's like right now, tonight we're talking about AI technology and creativity, or like last night, touching into faith and mental health. So I'm working to build the podcast here for us, where it's kind of I feel like I'm a bridge between the faith community and the secular world, where we can come in and have these conversations safely. So that is my goal, to continue to verge forward and go ahead and go forward and continue with those conversations. So I do want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk with us tonight. And I look forward to having you back again. It's always a very informative time anytime that you come here. So I just want to say thank you so much, Deshon. You all, I do want to thank you, and hold on real tight, just for tuning in tonight. I am Camille Essick. I am host of the Speaker Podcast, and this is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. You can follow me online. I am streaming across various platforms, such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Pandora. I would love to hear from you. You can also send me an email at thespeakerpodcast@gmail.com. And I also have new music and other things coming really soon, streaming across other platforms such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Pandora. And if you missed tonight's episode, no worries. You can go back and catch the replay. It'll be available on my YouTube channel. And you can also catch last night's conversation with Azealia Johnson as well. You all be safe, be blessed. Good night, and have a good weekend. See you on the next one. Bye.
Welcome to the Speak Her Podcast with your host, Camille, into another episode of the Speak Her Podcast. Be sure to follow Camille on Instagram at camille.essick, Facebook, the Speak Her Podcast, or www.camilleessick.com.